Exactly what I want to be hearing on a Sunday. Loud ass motherfucking jets ruining my peaceful morning. Thanks a lot. This is how it works. If you're not aware, all of a sudden, clear sky turns into thousands of chemtrails. I haven't even been filming for the last hour when I was seeing it earlier. I just finally got fed up after seeing these ones and saying to myself, might as well film this. I really need a tripod. As you can see, the jets constantly just approach from the south, heading almost due north. And they just fly straight over. Every 30 seconds there's another one. They're like 2 miles up. First thing I woke up to at 7:30 this morning was airplanes flying to Boston. Why? I called and I complained to the FAA. I complained directly to Massport. I said, hey, you know, you guys constantly fly over my house, fly really, really low. It seems like there's no reason for it. So they sent me an explanation. And the explanation is when the wind is too high coming from the west, they have to approach this way to get to Boston. Well, there's a 6 mile an hour wind today. Is that high enough? I just don't get it. What excuse are they going to pull out next? I'll be calling tomorrow. I'd like to hear the explanation they have about 6 mile an hour wind being enough to send all the jets over my house instead of over somebody else's. Or better yet, over nobody's house. Do they think they really own the sky? Are they serious? Does anybody think they really own the sky? Like they just keep curving around that turn over there, and then they're headed what I assume is almost due west. It's probably out towards the west coast. There's another one coming in the same path. That makes 4 or 5 that have made that same trip. It's funny, it was cloudy and rainy for the last 7 days straight, and then it gets sunny out, and look at this. I mean, not only do you see this kind of thing in person, but then you got to hear people like John Brennan, the CIA director, talk about the benefits of geoengineering and how it's going to fix global warming. Great. Just playing right into what I predicted, which is a false flag based on weather. Cause a problem, present a solution. Solution's actually the problem. There you go. They've already got the solution because they created the problem. It's a matter of time before people start realizing that this extreme weather is just man-made. Mother Nature's taking the blame. Total bullshit. Here comes another jet. Because I love jet noise. Now meanwhile, there was a whole series of chemtrails heading to the west this way. But if you look closely, that's all just clouds now. Might have zoomed in too far. They were traveling across that way. Now it's all haze. And for anybody who thinks I'm exaggerating, look at how blue the sky is. Look at how clear it is. Just cleared up. Finally cleared up. And then this is the plan. Let's cover it all up again, because we need to do some solar radiation management, climate engineering here. We need SAI to make sure that this planet doesn't overheat, apparently. This is the plan to cool the Earth down, make a cloud cover. Nice dim cloud cover, you know? It won't hurt you, they say. But it'll fix that goddamn global warming real quick, won't it? Went from like 100 degrees a couple weeks ago to about 49 degrees last night. That sounds normal, a 50-degree shift in Fahrenheit. I've heard of those kind of things happen all the time. Now, forgive my sarcasm, but I'm pretty pissed off. This is just total bullshit. And call and complain. Try to tell them that there's so many aircraft flying over my house that it's obnoxious. I mean, why can't I just start up a jet engine in my backyard and piss off all my neighbors? Because I'm on the ground and they're in the air? Yeah, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mow flat earth right into the lawn. They can read it as they fly over. It'll be thousands of people seeing that every minute. We're going to need a flat signal here. Nice spotlight with a flat signal on it. I hope the noise is coming through too, so you guys can hear how loud that sounds, because the first thing I heard when I woke up this morning, which was because of the noise, was the sound of jet engines going whee over my head, you know? I don't live in an apartment building, I don't live in a city, I don't live next to a highway. I like living in a rural area, so why do I have to put up with airplanes flying over my head? This didn't happen 2 years ago either. You know, this wasn't like this before. Now the FAA has new rules and new allowances to where they can fly as low as they want. And the answer I got from Massport when I asked how low are they allowed to fly is they can basically fly right over the tip of the roof of my house. They could get so close that they're touching it without touching it. That's the rule. They don't have to be at 1 mile, they don't have to be at 2 miles, they don't even have to be at a half a mile up. They could be at 1,000 feet, ripping the tops of your trees off with the air wake, and it doesn't matter. It's amazing. What I wonder is, when's all this shit gonna change? Is it ever? I mean, we're only losing our rights, so how are we gonna gain control? Well, this guy just took off, he's coming around. Let's get a bank turn going here. Sorry about the shakiness, this is all by hand. Yeah, full throttle ahead. We don't mind. Yeah, what does that sound like? It almost sounds louder than my voice, doesn't it? Kind of amazing that that's how loud they're allowed to be, is louder than I'm talking to you right now. For anybody who says the chemtrails don't curve, they curve when the plane takes a turn and it's emitting the chemtrail. You know, this kind of stuff happens way more often than I'm filming it. Just, I was eating my lunch, I looked out the window, heard another jet, sounded even lower than usual. And then I saw all these chemtrails and I said, you know what, might as well just film this. And I mean, there's plenty of grass to FE right in the lawn. We'll make it say flat earth about ½ acre in width. Make it so it's facing right towards where they're looking at. If I could only mow designs good enough, I'd mow the AE map right into the lawn just to get through to them, whether it's right or wrong. Oh, look at this. We got one that snuck right over my head while I wasn't looking. There's one. Oh, here's another one. See, I'm only filming one half of the sky. I'm not even seeing it all. I mean, I'm not even so concerned about catching every single chemtrail live, because if you're watching this, if you're even listening to what I'm having to say at this point, you're probably aware of it, so I'm not going to be the one to teach you about it, but the shit is real. When you see that coming out of an airplane, then think back when you remember being a kid, or when you remember being a younger adult. Did airplanes always do that? Have they always done that? Do you know anything about stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and stage 4 engines? Do you know anything about hush kits on engines? what the FAA has been making airplanes do to be quieter. There's a ton of information out there. It's just they know that we can't tell them what to do because the FAA asserts its own control over the skies. Whatever country you're in, I'm sure there's something similar. I mean, you can't just tell the airplane stop flying over your house. That's essentially what I've been trying to do. I called and I complained to Massport and I said, hey, cut the shit, stop flying over my house. And they told me too bad. So let that sink in. I wasn't even really planning on narrating this, quite honestly, but fuck it. Watch this cloud evolve. You can hear one coming in the distance from somewhere. You know, I don't want to just sound like I only care about my own house. The reason that this pisses me off is that I know they're doing it over everybody else's house. And quite honestly, within like a 50-mile stretch from Providence all the way to Boston, they don't mind flying at like 1 or 2 miles right over everybody's house. The whole way in, all the way across the landmass. There's all kinds of frequently asked questions I got in my response from the Massport FAA people, and they just basically tell you too damn bad. They got a lot of flights stacked, and they want to get them all in, and they don't care. And they didn't even actually, in the written response, they didn't address, even though they had my question written right there, they didn't address how low are they allowed to fly. Because they don't want to tell you. They don't want you to know that they can just fly as low as they fucking want. Nothing's stopping them. Sure, you own your house. You own your land. But do you own the air above it? Nope. The government took that away from you. Might be a good point to stop. Make my point right there. Whose sky is it? Alright, shout out to everybody who's watching. Thank you. Let's see if I can figure out how to stop it now.